Okay, hello. It's been like 2 days since I introed this video, and I'm nearly done. I think I have about 80 pages left of this or so. All right, hello, my fellow readers. Today we're gonna have my best friend pick my reads again because I felt like it was so fun the first time. So sent her like a screenshot of all of my books, and then she sent me a text back, which you can see here. So let's go through the books she picked, and you can tell I have a really good friend that knows me very well because the mix of this I feel like is like spot on. Like sometimes I read fantasy, but that's not in here. But for the most part, these are like what I would choose. Because I don't really read fantasy at this time of year. So I have In the Case of Heartbreak, which is a queer rom-com thing. Because I know I'm gonna need it after some of these reads. And then I have The Wedding People, which I feel like I've been trying to get into this for like a couple of weeks now, and I just haven't. And then we have My Friends. So like this is like the perfect summer read. And then we have The Secret Lives of Murderers Wives, and I just got really blurry. Here we go. The Secret Lives of Murder Wives. So I feel like I either do like fantasy or like thriller. So yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna start with. It's probably gonna be My Friends, honestly, because I feel like I just need to get to that book. I don't know. That's what we're gonna read now. Okay, hello. It's been like 2 days since I introed this video, and I'm nearly done. I think I have about 80 pages left of this or so, so I will finish this. Yesterday I was just like reading a bunch of like Kindle books, which I normally don't do anymore, but I don't know. I just needed a break. Now I need a break from romance, so I'm glad I have this. It is very good. I think comparative because the only other Frederick Buckman I've read was Beartown and like the Beartown series. I think this is very different. Like there is still the emotional toll, but I had the same thing with Beartown is that it just didn't hit me in the way that I think it hit a lot of people. And I would say that's kind of similar for this. Um, I do feel like it's more I don't think I knew what well, I don't think going into it I realized what it was going to be. So, anyway, that's what's going on. I do think it's really good. It follows, I don't know, to like the person that did the painting and then the person that was looking at the painting essentially. Um, yeah. So it's pretty good. There's a lot of stuff. I don't know. I mean, it's a Frederick Bachman. I feel like Frederick Bachman writes in a way that is, he never really tells you, like, it's like you'll find things out, like, he might introduce it, but then you don't actually know what happened until later. Um, and I love it. Like, I can't complain. I don't know. I can't complain too much. So, anyway, that is my friends. Sad, but happier than Beartown, in my opinion. I would say this is probably my favorite Frederick Bachman that I read, I would say. So, yeah. Anyway, that is my friends. Next, I think, I don't know what I want to read. I'm definitely not in a romance mood right at this moment, just because I've read a couple. I've read like 6 in a row, which is wild to think about. Anyway, so I'm either going to go with The Wedding People or The Secret Lives of Murderers' Wives. And I think, so like, the thing about The Wedding People is it's just kind of like intense, in my opinion, just from what I know about it. So I think I'm going to read this because I do want something fast paced still, but not in the same way that like a romance would be, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna read this next, although I'm not gonna read it right at this moment just because I have a ton to do. So yeah, that's what's next. Okay, hello. I'm currently about 90 pages away from finishing this. It is very good. I'm also like dying because it is so hot today. Um, it is 32 degrees Celsius, and I wanted it like 90 something. Um, yeah, there's an extreme heat warning right now. Which I could have literally told you because it's so hot. So, yeah. Anyway, it is very good. I didn't really know like what I was really getting into like with this book, to be honest with you. I bought it and like kind of didn't ever read the like synopsis. So, I didn't really know. I do really enjoy this. So basically, it's about these 3 women, Beverly, I'm trying to remember, Beverly, Elsie, and Margot. Wow, my brain. They are all the wives of murderers, like their husbands or ex-husbands murdered a bunch of people. They're now in jail or dead, and so it's all 3 of them. And there started to be a string of killings in their neighborhood or in their area, and they're now investigating it. So that's kind of the plot that we're following. So it definitely is kind of like if you've ever read the book club for troublesome women, it kind of feels like that, but like murder mystery vibes. So I definitely cannot complain. It is very good. It's also just a bajillion degrees in here, so I'm having a hard time focusing right now. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, so I just finished this. It was very good. I mean, I'm not gonna give away obviously who the killer is for obvious reasons. So I will say it made sense, like who was the murderer made sense. Um, but yeah, like I don't know what else to say about this. It definitely felt like women pushing against society, doing things they probably shouldn't have been doing, like in that era, but they were, and talking about pretty heavy stuff. And I can't really complain about that. But I really do have to get out of this heat because I'm literally sweating. I do not have AC here, so I'm gonna go into my parents' house because they have AC. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna read The Wedding People next, just because I also have it on my Kindle and I just feel like doing a little bit of both kind of reading. Alright, we're gonna have to ignore this lighting situation. It's not the best. Anyway, I finished The Wedding People while I was on the elliptical this morning, so you don't have any clips of me reading it. Sorry about that. Very good. I definitely liked how it ended. I feel definitely like going doing this is about like unaliving yourself, so please go into it knowing that fully. But what I appreciated about it is that by the end, she has kind of not only she hasn't really found herself, but I feel like she's in a so much better place, even though she's definitely still struggling, it's different and I appreciate that. I like the wedding aspect. It definitely made me feel like it was like summertime and it was like a summer wedding, so I definitely appreciate that. So that's kind of my review on this. This is terrible. This lighting is terrible. Anyway, The Wedding People. Alrighty, next and the last book that Holly picked out for me is In the Case of Heartbreak. I'm gonna try to get this done today, but I have literally no idea if I can. So we're gonna try for the best and yeah. Okay, so I have about 40 pages left of this book. Sorry, it's like so hot. I just cannot really be in here and I don't want to like lug my camera elsewhere. Anyway, so here is kind of my problem with this book. I don't even think it's bad. The love story is not love storying for me, in that it just feels like a little bit easy. And like they're supposed to be pining and yearning because they're like neighbors and they like are in love with each other. But I think because we only see it through Ben's POV, it makes it really hard to kind of figure that out. Or at least to like, I don't know, feel that. So I think by the time they actually get together, it feels a little weird. And I think partly is I normally read multi POV anyway, so it gets a little bit tricky for me when I don't read that. So anyway, let's finish this off because I don't have that much. And okay, so that completes this. My best friend chooses my reads. I think my thought is still pretty much the same that I shared like 50 or 40 pages ago, which is I also didn't realize that Ben was bisexual, to be honest with you, up until the last little bit. So I think that kind of sums up how I feel about it. It was okay. It was pretty middle of the road for me. I wouldn't say it did much for me. I would say it's good if you're wanting a little bit less. Like this is, I wouldn't say this is a closed door romance in any way at all, but I would say in comparison to like Cree Rattan or E.M. Lindsay, like this is pretty closed door. It's pretty tame. So it depends what you want. I think sometimes this is like a good vibe. Other times I'm probably not going to be super into it. I think, I don't know, I just felt like the conflict was very, not confusing, but I just felt like it wasn't warranted. Plot wise and structure wise, it just didn't feel whole. Like the story got a little lost. I got a little lost in the sauce at times. And I don't think that's like, I don't know if it's the story's fault or just because it's hot and my brain is not fully functioning, but I think it's probably the book itself because typically I can like follow things, but yeah, it wasn't horrible. I don't think I would read it again, to be honest with you. So that's what I'll say there. Okay, see, I have read. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, I'm pretty sure Courtney K has written like or WLW, which she has. So, and I've read that, I believe, and I didn't love it either. So I think it might just be an author thing. Okay, there we go. Then we solved my problem. Okay, that's it. We're going to try this again at some point. But get yourself a best friend that knows your reading taste because she knew I need romance. She gave me two fictions, which are also amazing, and then gave me a thriller, which I go between thrillers and fantasy, but primarily I read fiction and romance. All right, that is it for this video. What would your best friend choose for you? And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Bye!